All right. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Jennifer Lee, and I am your facilitator for this event. Welcome, and we're so glad you're here for the Mastery Transcript Consortium Virtual College Fair. I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started, and you are going to learn about 6 amazing schools. They will each have 6 minutes to share a great sneak peek of what they have to offer and the experience of their students in the classroom and on campus. Your camera and your microphone are off though, so our panelists can't see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions at any time throughout the session. If you have a question for a school directly, please include their name with that question. If you're posing a question for everyone to answer, then just drop it right there in that Q&A. You should also keep an eye on the chat throughout the night as our representatives may share websites or contact information for you to follow up later as well. This is just one of many sessions that are being offered as a part of the Mastery Transcript Consortium College Fair. So we hope that you have signed up and attended in our first session and will still join us for the next one to come after this. The RSVP is still open to sign up. This session, as well as all sessions, are being recorded, and they will be available in the coming days at the same website where you signed up, stridescan.com/mastery. All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to our very first school, and you'll be hearing a little bit about Colorado College.
Alrighty, well, welcome everyone to this section of the Virtual College Fair. I'm Michael. I'm an Assistant Director of Admission here at Colorado College, and we're going to learn a little bit about CC, but the short version is we are known, of course, for our block plan. And so if you remember nothing else, remember the block here at Colorado College. Here at CC, we are a selective small liberal arts college located about an hour south of Denver in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we're 150 years old, but we're known for what is now on year 54, the block plan, where you take one class at a time. So here at CC, you'll be on semesters more broadly. You'll still take 4 classes per semester, which means, as you're applying for graduate programs, internships, things of that nature, your transcripts are going to look normal because you're still taking 4 classes per semester. And similarly, your breaks will line up with several of your friends as well. But your day-to-day is quite a bit different here at the college. And so a big question about whether or not CC is the right fit for you is, do you like the block or do you not? The block plan comes with some pretty unique perks that we really can't sort of offer in any other collegiate setting and sort of unique to CC. And of course, there are some unique drawbacks that come with it. We, of course, feel that the perks outweigh the drawbacks. And I'd like to go a little bit into sort of what the block entails. So take one class for 3.5 weeks, and in those 3.5 weeks, you will cover the entire semester's worth of material for that class. You'll then pause for half a week. That's what's called a block break. During that time, you can do whatever you want. If you want to, for example, shadow at a company before you say yes to a summer internship offer, that's fair game. If you'd like to go, skiing, whitewater rafting, hiking, sort of do all the traditional Colorado outdoorsy items, you're certainly welcome to leave on a Wednesday afternoon, spend 3 days out in the wilderness, drive back on a Sunday morning, and not have to miss any class time. If you would like to just sort of take a break and have a nice little scaffolding against some of the rigors that come with, any sort of selective college curriculum, you get a nice chance to pause. But the biggest sort of draw to the block plan is the flexibility that comes with it. So not only are your professors yours for the block, but when you're in a block plan model, let's say you're in an ecology class and your professor wants to, take you out into the wilderness for 3 days at a time to conduct an experiment. Well, normally this would be a problem because you'd be missing all of the rest of your classes, right? On the block plan, not so much. You can just do that. If your professor in a history class wants to take you to Buenos Aires to, sort of explore the culture, practice your Spanish language if you're in a language course, right? They can just take you for a block, right? We have tremendous flexibility. Let's say you get an internship offer in the middle of February and you'd like to say yes to that offer. Well, in a semester system, normally this can be quite a challenge. On the block plan, not so much. You can take internships that other students find logistic challenges in arranging. And then similarly, if you find your own research opportunity and you want to pursue that to the fullest, taking a block off, not nearly as big a deal as taking a full semester off. And so we'll offer a couple of summer classes where you can make it up. You might bring in an AP credit or two that would help you sort of start ahead. You might take a half block over winter break to take half a class. So you have a tremendous amount of flexibility on the block plan. The common criticism of the block plan model is that it does move quickly. So while you're in your block, because you're covering so much material in such a short amount of time, things do move fast. And so, one of the ways in which we really help students to retain information is through those fun little items in green. If you take a look at Marley's schedule here, you can see what are called adjuncts. And adjuncts are the equivalent of a mini course or a quarter course at another college or university, and they're designed to sort of, either A, explore an area that you might not take a full class in, but you kind of want to explore, or B, sort of keep up the knowledge that you've been learning. So if Marley was instead in a language course, she might have an adjunct and review of that language while she moves on to her next block. Similarly, like let's say if she was instead a math major and she was continuing on to Calc 3, she might have an adjunct that sort of eases her way in if the Calc 3 weren't taking place until the following semester. So when we talk about the block plan, we talk about a really unique system within American higher education. You'll see all the cool aspects about CC on our website, all the great things on campus. We are not in a super rural locale. We're in a small city. So if you're looking for a small liberal arts college that is a little bit sort of closer to a lot of things that are hip and happening, this is a great college for you. If you're looking for one in the mountains, this is another great one for you where it's 6,000 feet. You can eat more food and get away with it. And if you're looking to train, this is a great place to do so. But I encourage you to sort of get in touch with the college. And the best way to do that is through our admission ambassadors. If you would like, sending a link in the chat to everybody to sort of meet our team. We do offer informational interviews and small group chats, but their emails are also there if you'd like to connect with our ambassadors to sort of see what life is like on the block plan and sort of how students made the transition, things they found surprising, things they found that were maybe harder than they expected or easier than they expected. But we hope you enjoy Colorado College and be happy to discuss more if we have folks with individual questions as we go through the session. But I will turn it over to our next college. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the fair.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Michael, for starting us off and sharing about Colorado College. As you can see, we're going to move on to School 2, Denison University.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Olivia Ireland, and I'm an Associate Director of Admission at Denison University. I am also an alum of the university I graduated back in the class of 2017. It might be particularly surprising to hear an alum say that I believe that the 4 years that you spend at Denison should not be the best 4 years of your life. I had an amazing experience at Denison. I got to do incredible things, ranging from studying abroad in Cape Town, South Africa. I was a varsity athlete, but still was able to be involved in student government. I did research with a professor. However, I feel like now, 8 years later, I can say that Denison set me up for a life that I love, not just 4 years that I love. So as I go through these next few slides, I hope you'll kind of keep that in mind with how we're doing things here at Denison. So first, a little bit about our location. We are located in Granville, Ohio, which is a small town about 25 minutes from Columbus, which I'll talk about in a moment. If you've ever seen the show Gilmore Girls, I always compare Granville to Stars Hollow. It has all sorts of local restaurants, coffee shops, grocery store, everything about 10 minutes from the top of the hill where our campus is located. So students can walk to all of these amenities right outside of our campus. That being said, you get the perk of being 25 minutes from Columbus, Ohio, which is the 14th largest city in the US. And so our students have all of those big city resources right nearby. Columbus is home to professional sporting events. There's a Broadway series, great art scene, good food, as well as a number of Fortune 500 companies that our students engage with throughout their 4 years while in Granville. That being said, if you come and talk to current students on campus, many of them will tell you that they tend to spend their time on campus and in Granville, despite having those resources right there. 100% of our students are living on campus, so we are a fully residential community. And because of that, we have a significant number of campus organizations and clubs that are incredibly active and putting together a huge range of events that are constantly taking place on our campus. In addition to that, about a third of our students are varsity athletes, and a third of our students are involved in music ensembles. There's also a significant amount of crossover between those groups. I always tell students, if you're the type of person who wants to wear a lot of hats and be involved in a lot of different things, Denison could be a great fit for you. Going into the academics, you will see that on our website that we offer many of the traditional majors that you would expect to find at a small selective liberal arts college. But I always love talking about some of the innovative programs that we've added in recent years that are kind of unique to the college as well. So we have a global health major, a global commerce major, a data analytics major. We're currently designing and developing a data science and data analytics center that will be on our campus for all of our students to be able to take advantage of. And of course, being a small liberal arts class school, we are able to keep our classes small. You're going to have really close relationships with your faculty throughout your 4 years. And we're really intentional in helping our students develop those relationships, whether those be our pre-orientation trips that happen before their first day of class, all the way to doing one-on-one research with a faculty member throughout those 4 years on campus. I also like to point out that 80% of our students do involve themselves in a global experience of some sort, whether that's the typical semester away from campus or a Denison seminar. That's a co-taught course on campus that has a global component. And then, as I mentioned, we are really dedicated to setting up our students for future success and getting them onto a path that they're going to love post-graduation. And we're doing that through a variety of resources on campus. Our Knowlton Center for Career Exploration was just ranked number 3 by the Princeton Review. We're really proud of this space. There's 16 career advisors that all have specific industries that they specialize in to really help our students as they're exploring internships, externships, research opportunities, programs, etc. We also have the Denison Edge, which is a space in downtown Columbus for professional skill building, largely through boot camps and networking opportunities for our students. We have the Liska Center for Intellectual Engagement. They oversee our Fulbright process, many of the global programs that students tend to engage with post-graduation. And then we have our Red Frame Lab, which is located in our student union. That's our Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center that offers real-world consulting opportunities for our students, often with those Fortune 500 companies that I mentioned when talking about Columbus. Lastly, just wanted to highlight a few admission details. We do accept the Common Application, Coalition Application, and QuestBridge application. We try to make it as easy as possible for students by not requiring a supplemental essay or an application fee. I do strongly encourage an admission interview and can answer specific questions about that after this session. And we are test optional. We've been test optional for over 10 years. And then beyond that, we have a no harm policy that if a student decides to submit their score, but we feel like the rest of their application is stronger, we're going to use the rest of those materials when making admission decisions as well as merit scholarship decisions. If students are applying for financial aid, they'll need to submit the FAFSA and the CSS profile, and we do meet 100% of demonstrated need for all of our admitted students. Lastly, just wanted to call out that we offer early decision as well as regular decision. Last year, about half of our incoming class did come through early decision. So if it's the top of your list, we definitely encourage you to consider that option and can talk about that further. Thank you, and I will pass it off to the next presenter.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Olivia, for sharing Denison with us today. We're on to our third school, and we're going to be hearing from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. I'll share my screen.
There, everything's
You
good.
can see my screen now too? Perfect. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. My name is Kelsey Kaplan. I'm the Assistant Director for First Year Recruitment here at UNLV, or the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. UNLV, we are a large public state university. We serve about 32,000 students. We just enrolled our largest class ever here at UNLV in the fall of 2024. So we're really proud of that. Las Vegas is a very big growing city, and UNLV is growing a lot as well. UNLV was founded in 1957. So that is something to mention because we've been around for a very short period of time, and we've grown from being a small branch community college to a top tier research institution in a little over 60 years. year. So every year UNLV continues to do great things, jump in the rankings, and I'm really proud to work here and be an alum as well. UNLV serves over about 900 international students from 81 different countries. And we are ranked as, the new rankings just came out a few weeks ago, and we are ranked as the 5th most diverse college campus in the country. So that, again, is something that at UNLV we're very proud to hold. Las Vegas is a very diverse community, and UNLV serves a very diverse student body. About 71% of our students identify with an ethnic diverse background, and we are also a minority serving institution, a Hispanic serving institution, and an Anaspesi serving institution as well here at UNLV. And we are also a top 10 military friendly school too. So serving our community and serving a diverse student population is something that is very important to us and something we value as we continue to grow every year. As I mentioned, UNLV is an R1 ranked research institution, so we do have really strong faculty here at UNLV. A lot of students maybe don't know what an R1 ranking means, and that's just one of the ranking. Carnegie ranks colleges every year on their research activity level, and UNLV falls into the highest category of research. That means a lot of the times that your faculty and your professors and the people teaching your classes, they come to UNLV with a lot of experience in their field, a lot of research experience as well, and that's something they can take into the classroom and help students with, so they are learning at the top of their field as well. Even though we are a big school, we're really proud that we do have very small class sizes. Our average class size sits at about 30 students. We do not have a lot of lecture space on our campus, so most of our classrooms actually max out at about 60 students. So we have a lot of very small classrooms for being a very large institution. I think that benefits students a lot. You get all of the benefits of being at a really great big school, but you also do not have super large classes either. This is a little list of some of the internships and jobs that our students have been able to get. Our UNLV Honors College is a really strong program, and we've had students who have been able to do a lot of great research through our Honors College. We have a student who was able to do research with NASA and go on to get a job with them. They have some really great other accolades they're very proud of. You can go to their website or jump on one of their tours as well. But the Honors College has even smaller class sizes. They have class sizes that range from about 16 to 20 students, and they are much more selective in their admissions process. So I will go over our general admissions process at the end, but know the Honors College has a very selective admissions process as well. UNLV has over 300 programs, so when we talk about our enrollment and having about 32,000 students, that does encompass our professional schools as well. So we have School of Dental, Medicine School, a occupational therapy school, physical therapy school, many PhD and master's programs too. So a lot of our students at UNLV are able to do their undergraduate here and then really learn and observe the graduate programs too, and oftentimes go on into master's programs or graduate programs after they finish. Our Honors College is a very big feeder for our UNLV Med School as well. Some of the fun stuff, it is homecoming week this week at UNLV, so it's a very fun, exciting week on campus. We have over 450 clubs on UNLV's campus, so when you think about having about 30,000 students, we have about 70% of our students involved. So we have a very active student body for students to get involved outside of the classroom. Obviously, what you study and what you major in is really important, but also your college experience outside of the classroom is just as valuable. So having a lot of options for student involvement, I think, is very important. And as a UNLV alum, we had a really, just being on a very diverse college campus, there really is something for everybody. And not all of our students are involved in the same things. So I think that is really great for students coming into college and really being able to explore and meet new people. In the interest of time, I'm not going to spend too much on sports, but UNLV does have some really great sports teams, and we are D1. And then I just want to talk about admissions and scholarships really briefly, as I know I just have a little less than a minute left. So our admissions process, we are also test optional. We are on common application, and we also have our own UNLV application. We require a 3.0 core academic GPA for admissions. If you don't have that, we would encourage a test score if you don't have the GPA. And we also admit transfer students with a 2.5 GPA. If you are a senior, our priority deadline is quickly approaching here on November 15th. It is not early action or early decision, but we do encourage you to apply early for scholarships. We have some really great scholarship programs for our out-of-state students, both being the WUI and the Signature Scholarship. So make sure you apply to UNLV early, do your FAFSA, and if you are a senior, and if not, then these are some deadlines for the future. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you all.
Thank you so much, Kelsey, for sharing UNLV. All right, we've got 3 schools done and 3 to go. So this is a great time. I want to remind all the attendees about that Q&A button. Don't forget that that's there. So you can drop questions in that Q&A box for our representatives to answer at any point throughout the rest of the session. And now we're going to move on to school number 4. And as you can see, it's going to be Washington State University.
Oh, excuse me. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Randy Niehenke. I serve as our Senior Associate Director of Recruitment with Washington State University, and I am a WSU alum. So excited to be here tonight to talk about WSU. Although I will be focusing on our Pullman campus, I do like to highlight that we actually have campuses throughout the state of Washington. So we really can meet students where they're at and kind of be based on what their needs are, help them thrive and expand within their specific area of study. In Pullman, however, we are students. It's going to be our largest campus. It is our flagship campus. This is where majority of our students are located. We are in a rural area in Washington where our students make up over 2/3 of the population of Pullman. So we have just over 17,000 total students. That does include our graduate and professional students, right around 15,000 undergraduate students on our campus, making up, again, 2/3 of the Pullman campus. So our students really come to WSU because they want to go to WSU, they want to be Cougs, and they really want to go to a college or university where they're going to be able to get involved, create that home away from home, and really become a part of the Cougar family. Some of the ways you see that reflected on campus, we do require all of our first-year students live on campus, which helps them start creating those living, learning communities. They'll participate in first-year focus, where they'll take 1 to 2 classes with every other student who lives on their floor or through their building, depending on the size of their residence hall. We have over 300 registered student organizations. So ranging from clubs for all of our academic departments to clubs like the Raptor Club, where we work with injured birds of prey. If we can, we'll return them to the wild. If we can't, they stay on campus with us. We have clubs like the Humans versus Zombies Club, where it is the ultimate game of Nerf gun tag. So we will have the zombie apocalypse coming up here soon towards Halloween, as our zombies will be in full makeup. To our student entertainment board, which hosts free events for students. They bring concerts to campus, free movies, and other events for our students to participate in. We have a lot of athletic opportunities at WSU. We are an NCAA Division I Pac-12 school, in addition to club sports and then our intramural sports, where any student can play, ranging from flag football and basketball to Battleship, where it's you, maybe a few of your friends in a pool on campus trying to flip and or sink the other boats in the pool, to esports. We also have our Center for Civic Engagement, which helps our students find and track the community service they're doing in our area. This past year, they clocked in over 53,000 hours of community service. So we like to give back to the area around us and help improve that as well. We are also a Tier 1 R1 research institution, as well as the land grant research institution for the state of Washington. With over 200 fields of study, there's a little bit of everything for our students to choose from. We were Washington State Agricultural College, so you will see a large number of agriculture degrees at WSU. We are the first school in the country to offer a degree in organic and sustainable agriculture. We have the Carson College of Business, which is an accredited business program, so students going into marketing, finance, hospitality business management, senior living management. We have the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication, where our broadcast students have their own news stations on campus with the 4K cameras and all of the technology they will need, to the Boylan College of Engineering and Architecture, where they're working on biofuels, to F1 cars, to certifying metal bats for NCAA baseball. We have the 5th oldest veterinary medicine department or college in the country on our campus, with a teaching hospital. So not only are students working with the animals that come to campus for care, but also working with the animals we have on campus. So lots of opportunities for students to work with the cows, horses, sheep, deer, to grizzly bears. Our grizzlies being researched for not only vet med purposes, but neuroscience is doing research on how is it grizzly bears can go into hibernation and wake up like no big deal. We educate the most nurses in the state of Washington. We also have our own pharmacy and medical school. So if you go to degrees.wsu.edu, you can learn more about all of our programs and ways you can get involved. In addition to getting involved on campus, we also have a lot of resources, whether it's academic advising, tutoring, mentoring. We do have an honors college at WSU, no additional cost to join, but there are additional scholarships, lots of study abroad opportunities within all of our programs, and career success programs as well to help our students find not only internships, but jobs once they have graduated as well. As for the application process, our application for fall 2025 is available now. You can either apply directly to us at apply.wsu.edu, or we are a member of the Common App. There is a $70 application fee to apply, but we do offer fee waivers. No essay, no test scores, no letters of recommendation required. You'll submit your unofficial high school transcripts. We'll review and send you your decision. Our priority date is March 31st. We are on the rolling admission cycle, so the earlier you apply, the earlier you will hear back from us. Our general scholarship application is available now, and so I'd recommend getting that to us by January 31st to receive priority consideration for our university scholarships, and then of course submitting a financial aid application this December as those open. We also love having you visit Pullman. Pullman's definitely something you got to see to believe, and we do have some incentives coming up this spring for our admitted students. We will have Experience WSU, where if you attend one of those programs, you will receive a one-time $1,000 tuition credit. We also have events like Fall Preview, Junior Preview, and Spring Break Sneak Peek Week. So another great opportunity to come visit us and see it for yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and you can find your specific admissions counselor at rep.wsu.edu. Thank you, and go Cougs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Randy, for sharing Washington State. We're going to be moving on to learn about Stevens Institute of Technology. Hey, Allie, we can see your screen, but
yeah,
you know,
I just realized that. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, we have all been there, right?
Hello, everyone. As I said before, my name is Allie Cafaro. I'm one of the admission counselors here at Stevens Institute of Technology. As you can see by our picture here, we are located in Hoboken, New Jersey. For those of you not familiar with Hoboken, New Jersey, it is 1 square mile and about a 20-minute subway ride from New York City. You can see in our background here because of our campus, and our New York City is right here. So our students really have great accessibility to New York City. Moving on to just some university facts about our school. We are a very small school, about 4,100 undergraduate students with a large graduate population as well. Student to faculty ratio is about 10-1 with 34 undergraduate majors, which we will discuss in a few minutes, 15 active research centers here on our campus, 348 full-time faculty, and an average class size of about 25. So like I said, a nice small school with the luxury of being so close to New York City. The majors that we offer here for our students are going to be engineering, computer science, math and sciences, all BS programs, except for our engineering program, which is a Bachelor of Engineering program, which is the highest degree of engineering that you can receive as an undergraduate student. Computer science being one of our most popular programs here at our school as well. And we also offer competitive business and humanities programs as well, a BS in business and a BA or a BS in humanities. As you can kind of see from the majors that we offer, you'll see technology is really filtered within all of our majors here at Stevens, not just for our engineering and our computer science students, but also for our business and our humanities programs as well. We do have an accelerated pre-med program and an accelerated pre-law program for students. That is a direct entry program. They can apply directly into it as a freshman. Our pre-med program is a 7-year program in conjunction with New Jersey Medical School, and our accelerated pre-law program is a 6-year program in conjunction with Seton Hall University. Just a little bit about some of our internship opportunities here at our school. Obviously, because of our close proximity to New York City, Our students have a ton of opportunities for internships. Not only can they intern in the summer months, but of course they can intern in the fall and in the spring while they're taking classes as well. And several of our students do, making their ability to really build up their resume prior to them going out into the workforce a great opportunity. We do offer a cooperative education as well for our computer science and engineering students. Our co-op program here is a 5-year program. The first and the last year are your traditional student taking classes, paying tuition, and the second, third, and fourth year, you pause your tuition for 1 semester, go out into the workforce, and actually earn a salary for that time. Moving on to just our employment summary, we do like to really emphasize this here at Stevens because, again, of our close proximity to New York City, where our students are getting jobs. You'll see that this is a list of industries and an industry breakdown of where our students are being hired. This isn't just a list of students that are being hired in the past 20 years. The 2 or more Stevens students were hired by these companies from the class of 2023 alone, which I think is a really impressive thing for our students because of all of the internships they are able to get. Moving on a little bit to student life, of course, we do have very demanding majors here at Stevens with being an engineering and a computer science institute of technology school, but we do have over 140 organizations here at the school. We have a large population of students that are actively involved in Greek life, and we are NCAA Division III here with 23 varsity sports that we offer. We do have housing on campus as well. It is guaranteed for our freshman students, and then moving on to our second, third, and fourth year students, housing is available for them as well with several different dining halls on campus. What I think is a nice emphasis about our school is that we are so close to the city, and Hoboken kind of feels a bit like a city, but because our campus is kind of gated within Hoboken, you have the opportunity to feel like a close-knit campus, but still being so close to the city. What we're looking for from our recommended coursework from our students, specifically for our engineering and our computer science students, is 4 years of mathematics, inclusive of calculus, and 3 years of lab sciences, inclusive of biology, chemistry, and physics. For business and humanities, it is a little bit less for those requirements, looking for at least pre-calculus, biology, chemistry, and physics. And then tuition for students who are currently attending Stevens right now. Our tuition and fees are $63,000 a year. Anyone living on campus, if they choose to, is an additional $19,000 for a total of $84,906 to attend Stevens for the current year. We do offer tons of merit-based scholarships for students, and about 99% of our students do receive some type of merit-based aid. There is no additional application you need to fill out for that. When you fill out the Common App for our institution, you will be automatically considered for merit-based aid. And then just looking at what we hope to see from students, we want a challenging course load, which I did kind of discuss already. We want to actively involve student in extracurricular activities, specifically for our engineering or our computer science students. We're hoping for some either app development, some shadowing programs that you have done in high school, or active involvement in your robotics team, and then demonstrated interest, of course, picking up the phone, reaching out to your admissions counselor, coming to campus with any questions that you might have, coming for a traditional campus tour or an open house. And then in years past, we receive about 14,000 applications a year with a 43% acceptance rate. We are test optional for students, but the students that do submit test scores, we're looking at a middle range of about a 1370 to a 1500, a 31 to a 34 ACT, and our average GPA is about 3.89, and that is a weighted. And we do hope, you come to New Jersey and visit New York City and visit Stevens. But other than that, if you do have any questions about our institution, feel free to type them in the chat, and it was nice to speak with you all tonight.
Thank you so much, Allie, for presenting on Stevens Institute of Technology. All right, we're on to our sixth school of this 6x6. We'll be learning about Ohio Wesleyan University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laren. I am an assistant director of admission at Ohio Wesleyan University. I am actually a regional employee, so I live in Northeast Ohio in the Cleveland area. But Ohio Wesleyan is actually in Columbus, similar to what you heard from Denison. We are about the same distance from the big city of Columbus in Delaware, which is on the northern end. It's a town of about 40,000 people, and it's a nice growing suburb. It's one of the fastest growing suburbs in the country. So we love to call Delaware home, but also have the big city of Columbus not too far from us. When you're thinking about Ohio Wesleyan, there's a couple of things I wanted to share, and I'm just going to leave these on the screen as I talk so you can kind of take a look over, and I will touch on some of these specifically. But we are a small liberal arts university, so we do have around 1,500 total students. And you can see the breakdown of where our students come from. We do celebrate students that come from out of state. And this year we do have an out of state award for students. It's a $2,000 scholarship for students that reside outside of Ohio. So that's an automatic scholarship for students that, again, are not Ohio residents. We do have lots of countries represented. And you can also see our multicultural numbers and first gen numbers. This year we had a very strong first gen class. And we have a director of first generation programs at Ohio Wesleyan, which is kind of rare for a school of our size, but we really are proud of this program, and we're proud of the work that we do to help those students that are first generation. If you're not familiar with that is, it means you're basically the first in your college, or sorry, first in your family to go to a four-year program and graduate with a degree. So again, we have the resources in place for that outside of just your typical tutoring and support systems to help all of our students. We do have a lot of students that are involved in athletics. We have Division III, and we're part of the NCAC conference. So about 36% of our students are varsity athletes. When you're looking at our student to teacher ratio, it is about 12-1. Our average class size is about 18. I mentioned, we're a smaller university, so that is pretty typical for most of our classes. Some of your classes in your labs may be anywhere from 6 to 10 students once you really get into your major coursework. We also do have over 70 different majors, which is, again, a lot for a school of our size. And you can see some of the top majors that are listed here. One of our popular majors is zoology. Because of our location in the Columbus area, we aren't far from the Columbus Zoo. And the Columbus Zoo is usually top ranked. It's usually in the top 3 zoos. And our students get that experience, whether it's shadowing, zookeepers there working, shadowing different vets of, kind of exotic animals. So that's one of our popular majors that draws kids from all over. But on top of that, you can also see some of our other popular majors that we offer. And then there's the breakdown of the class of 2028 this past year. As I mentioned, we are Division III, so we do have 24 varsity sports teams, but we also have over 100 clubs and organizations. Those range anywhere from some of our multicultural clubs, music ensembles, orchestras, sports clubs at the intramural and club level. And a lot of our students also enjoy living in some of our themed houses, which are based off of certain topics. So we have about 7 or 8 houses on campus that are called our small living units. So students that share a passion or an interest in a certain topic can apply to live together in these houses. And it's a great living, learning community where students with similar interests can kind of feed off of each other and do house projects, do service work, and really contribute to the greater community in Delaware and beyond too. So some of these houses, we have a Peace and Justice house, a Citizens of the World, Sexuality and Gender Equality house. There's a couple others as well, but those houses, like I said, are for students that share similar interests, like those that would be in a club or an organization. They can live together in these small living units. About 99% of our students receive scholarship and financial aid when they are admitted. For a student to be admitted to Ohio Wesleyan, we do a holistic review. We look at your essay, your activities list, and we also, like several of my colleagues, are test optional. So students do not have to submit test scores in order to receive any of these scholarships and financial aid. We are actually on a rolling basis. So once a student submits all of their application materials, they will hear back from us in about 1 to 2 weeks. So pretty quick turnaround. And then obviously students have, until May 1st to make their college decision. We do offer some pretty strong merit scholarships. I mentioned our out-of-state scholarship earlier, but we have scholarships that range from about $24,000 a year all the way up to full tuition. So I'm going to highlight some of those here. One thing I do like to point out is our Life in Eagle Scout or a Gold Silver Scout award. So this is actually our highest scholarship, our highest merit scholarship for students. So we have information about this on our website. I can share it in the chat as well. But this is a great opportunity for any student that is involved in Eagle or I'm sorry, Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, they have this scholarship specifically for completing these rankings. We also have special scholarships for certain programs. We have a community service and leadership scholarship, some sports, club sports scholarships as well. And just for visiting campus, you also receive a visit award. So we encourage students to visit campus, and that's $1,000 scholarship, and it's renewable all 4 years. And as we wrap up, I'm just going to leave some of our special programs as well. We do have honors programs and other programs that students can apply for. So you can take a look at those and also view them on our website.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lauren, for sharing more about Ohio Wesleyan. All right, so we have reached the end of our 6x6 part, but we still have a couple minutes. We want to make sure that anyone who wants to share more info in the chat, all of our reps have gotten a chance to do that. All of our attendees have been able to get that info or share last minute Q&A. So before we officially wrap up, I'm going to invite everybody to come back on camera, and we're going to answer one live Q&A question together. So these admissions counselors and their colleagues are absolute pros and are really dedicated to helping families and students navigate this whole process, and they have a lot of good tips. So I'd love to hear from each of you your top tip or piece of advice that you would share with students and their families that are going through this process. We're going to go in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Colorado College and wind our way to Ohio Wesleyan. When the person ahead of you gives their answer, then if you know you're next, just go right ahead and jump in. So I'm going to turn it over to Michael to get us started.
All righty. Well, welcome back to the start of our cycle through. Since we're a selective college and we very much value sort of a fit aspect with the school, I would encourage you to make sure those supplements are pretty well researched. So, as a reader, our sort of informal rule of thumb is, like, let's make sure your supplement's for us. If we can copy paste your supplement into another school's prompt and it still works, we'd probably like to see a little bit more. We know how ChatGPT works as well, so make sure you're putting some care into those supplemental essays as you're writing them.
I will go next. So my biggest piece of advice is when you're visiting campuses and you're researching campuses, just start asking questions about the career resources. As I highlighted, college is a launching point to then life post-graduation. And so just making sure that there's going to be funding required if you're someone who wants to go have a life in Manhattan post-graduation and you're going to need an internship in Manhattan one summer, making sure that there's going to be funding opportunities for housing, et cetera, that comes with those internships that hopefully you'll have access to.
Hi, everyone. My advice is just that it's a very individualized process. I think that you're in high school a lot of the times with your friends. Everyone's kind of, you've been doing the same thing for many years, but as you start to apply to colleges, you really need to look at yourself and what you're interested in and what's the best fit for you, because sometimes it's not the best fit as your friend is. So I think you really just making sure you're looking for yourself and recognizing it is a very individual decision as you make that decision.
My tip would definitely be to start early. So don't wait until the deadlines are approaching. Usually we've had our applications online for an extended period of time, so there's no reason to miss those deadlines. And then visit the campuses you are interested in. That's the best way to find your fit and see if you see yourself there and if you really want to be that far away from home. It can sound great to get on a flight and go to a college or university, but once you actually take that flight, you may not want to do that regularly. So just things to keep in mind. Apply early and visit.
My piece of advice would be to be visible for those students that are, nervous or having their parents reach out to the admissions team for advice. I would say to them, pick up the phone and say, hi, I'm a student that has applied to the school. I just wanted to introduce myself and I'm really hoping to attend, just to make yourself more visible. And when you're writing your essay, make yourself visible. Make it a very honest essay, something that we wouldn't know about you from reading your transcript. And make your voice known. It's our one opportunity to know who you are as a student, and it's okay to just write something simple and honest about your experience, hopefully what you hope to achieve in college.
That's great. And I'll piggyback that off that a little bit for the essay. We loved reading essays about mentors or people that have inspired you, but we also want to, learn who you are through that process. So an entire essay about a role model is great, but like, please reflect it back to you and how it's, shows who you are as a student. And my advice actually on the other end would be, first of all, don't rule a school out based on the sticker price that you see. I know that all of us have different sticker prices here, and, some schools meet full need and some schools have great scholarships. So it sounds, cliche, but you really don't know what that final cost is going to be until you see your financial aid award letter and you're at the end of the process. So I think, give everything a chance and, work with schools. I think they're willing to work with you as well.
These are all great tips. I hope that one tip that I always like to give to the families is, you've met in this brief way a little bit about each school and these representatives and know how friendly they are. So really do reach out, call them, ask questions, things that you're confused about in the process. They really are here to help you through it for sure, and want to help you navigate this for you and your family. So please know they are not scary people just sitting in an office reading your application. They're here to work with you. So we have reached the end of our time tonight together. I want to say thank you to our representatives for sharing not just the facts and figures about the admissions process and tests, but you can obviously see how passionate and excited they are about the students' experience in the classroom and on campus, and through all the different opportunities. And I hope that this inspires you to learn more about each of these schools and to ask a lot more questions after today. To everyone who attended, thank you for being here. We're so glad you joined us. We encourage you to check back with the schedule and sign up for the next round of sessions to come to learn about more great schools. And just remember, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the session recordings at the same website where you registered, strivescan.com/mastery. Thanks again, everyone, for being here today. We hope you've had a great time and all the best in your school year and in the college search process. Good night, everyone.